You can be nostalgic and fun and write something for all ages to enjoy without being cheesy? Get the fuck out of here. Buenos dias, amigos, and Feliz Navidad. Welcome back to the Comic Book Mustache. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the 5th book of Multiversity, published by DC Comics. This one entitled Thunderworld, written by Grant Morrison, with art from the wonderful Cameron Stewart. Before we jump into a bit of a review on the book, I want to actually talk about Multiversity as a whole and where we are at the moment. For years and years, if you are a comic book fan, you have heard rumblings of Multiversity. Grant Morrison will be deconstructing and reconstructing, however you want to look at it. He will be the architect for the DC Multiverse, and he will eventually, we have it now, have a series where we will be jumping into each 52 parallel universe that is featured within DC Comics continuity. One of the big complaints that I have seen about the Multiversity series up to this point, and if you're fucking complaining, you got Pax Americana and you should shut the fuck up, because that was one of the best comic books of all time. But anyway, one of the complaints that I have seen is that people don't know where the series is going. They don't see the big picture yet. They don't understand what the point is or any of that. And to those people, I want to say, chill out, man. Just chill out, man. Seriously. Stop looking at a big overall picture. If you start looking at this whole Multiversity thing and each one of its chapters dealing with a different parallel universe within DC Comics continuity. We have 52 parallel universes within the DC Comics continuity. You start looking at it as, here's what Earth 5 looks like. Here's what Earth 4 looks like. Maybe a bigger picture doesn't matter, and the point of this series is that Morrison is actually developing, let's call them Bibles or blueprints. Let's call them blueprints, for lack of a better term. He's developing a blueprint for each one of these parallel universes, just in case maybe DC wants to do a series about Earth 5. DC wants to do a series about Earth 4 and develop the Pax Americana as a line of comics within their own. Marvel has the Ultimate Universe. It differs greatly from the 616 regular Marvel Comics universe. DC, maybe, and maybe we should just, I'm saying, take a look at it like this, with Multiversity is giving us a look at each one of these parallel worlds, showing you how they look, showing you how they feel, showing you what characters are involved. The entire aesthetic and main focus of these worlds is given to you within these jump-off issues of Multiversity, and maybe an overall story really doesn't matter here. Let's look at it like that. Then we can stop worrying about how does this fit into number 4, and how does this fit into the first one with Captain Carrot. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe there is no big picture, and each one of these issues is a blueprint just so we know exactly what that world looks like, because they stress these parallel worlds, man. Crises happen. Crises happen, man. Then we don't have to worry about a big picture, and we can just take things for what they are and how they're given to us. And what is given to us has been 5 wonderful fucking issues. 5 stand out, some better than the others. Pax Americana being great, that Justice Society one with Dr. Fate, that one was great. The first one I was iffy on, but I thought it was cool. Regardless, they're very thought-provoking, they're really interesting, and it's something different being done within the big 2, which we should embrace as comic book fans. Deviate from the norm. That's the only way progress is going to happen. Throw your dollar down where it counts, because if you want to see cool stuff happening, you got to pay for it. Stop paying for the nonsense. Anyway, that's my my critique on the big picture of Multiversity. So let's stop taking a look at the big picture, and let's take a look at Thunderworld. That's me trying to sing Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen. A song I don't like, but growing up with a house in New Jersey, song I know every word to, and I'll probably try and use it in the music for this show, because that would be fun and annoying, because it'll be stuck in my head all day and I'll bother the hell out of my wife with it. Anyway, the evil Savannah takes control of the Rock of Eternity, holding it hostage and holding the Grand Wizard Shazam hostage in the process, so he's able to create an 8th day of the week, Savannah Day. If I'm pronouncing this name wrong, please forgive me. So, this maniacal villain is creating an 8th day of the week with the help of his parallel world counterparts. See? Bigger picture stuff. Wiz Media boy reporter Billy Batson has to pronounce the magic words Shazam! And turn himself into Earth's mightiest mortal, Captain Marvel, in order to save the day, stopping this maniacal villain from creating the 8th day of the week with the help of the entire Merry Marvel family. I don't know if I could say Merry Marvel and get sued or not. I also need to mention, when was it cool, again, to call Shazam Captain Marvel? I thought because of copyright stuff, this wasn't allowed, and this was a really big issue. But I guess DC and Grant Morrison and Cameron Stewart really just don't care. I'm burping, by the way. That's why I'm making this weird face. I guess they really don't care. And I don't know if that's going to be a normal continuity or if it's just on this parallel Earth 5 that we see in Thunderworld. But he is called Captain Marvel, and they have X-nayed any, retcons to call him Shazam or whatever they end up calling him in order to stop legal disputes with this issue. And it's really fun to see that back, even though it's a minor detail. I want to talk about Grant Morrison now that I've given you the entire plot. Grant Morrison, some people love him, like really love him. Like I'm one of those guys who really loves him. Some people say he's too meta, he's too trippy, his books are too weird. And Morrison is known for his super surreal, super bizarre takes on things, taking things into other planes of dimensions, being very hallucinogenic, being very weird, being very philosophical. He is perhaps one of the best known, strange, odd duck, weird writers in comics. That being said, Morrison, when he wants, is capable of getting down to the straight nitty-gritty of these characters that he loves so much. He's able to take the things that made these characters so special when they were first conceived, when they were most popular back in the Golden Age, take those, rewrite it for the current generation without compromising the integrity of the original content, and showing you the core values, the core issues, and the core reasons that that character became popular, that character became beloved, without feeling overly nostalgic, without coming off as corny, without seemingly being like a cheesy throwback, like this is just for fun to be nostalgic kind of thing. He's able to very sincerely show you the core aesthetics, I'll say, the core aesthetics of these characters, of these franchises that made them so beloved when they were first conceived. He did this with All-Star Superman, taking Superman, I think he throws like 1 or 2 punches in that entire book, but it is one of the best representations, as far as I'm concerned and many other readers are concerned. It is one of the best representations of one of the most timeless characters in the history of humanity. And once again, he does this here with Captain Marvel. Gotta take a sippy. You could give this book to a kid. They will love it and they will be hooked on comics for their life. You can give it to an avid comic book reader who only likes cynical, depressing things, who probably loves the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, and they will probably say, that was a really good book. You can give this to your grandfather, and then you can talk about, I remember when, all day, because this will spark that same love that made these characters so well received when your grandfather was a kid reading these books. Now that you're an adult, now that you're a kid, or whatever age you are reading it now, this book really gets down to why Captain Marvel is so cool, what made him so special to begin with, why he is so special now, and what fun you can have with this character. Some people say he's really similar to Superman. The boy turning into the adult thing, it's kind of weird. Putting a child at risk is kind of weird, but Batman does it all the fucking time, and he's gotten 2 of them killed. One of them was his own son. Whatever those cases may be, if you're not a Captain Marvel fan and you always thought he was corny, you're probably not going to like this book. But if you are a Captain Marvel fan, and even if you just respect the Golden Age, respect the history of comic books in general, this is an issue that you should definitely read because it pays such great homage to the history of the character and the core aesthetics, again, of what that character means and why he is so cool. On top of all that, the story is a hell of a lot of fun. Having these maniacal, kind of stereotypical, cheesy, Golden Agey villains is really cool to have back. The stakes are dire, but it's not like really graphic shit that you see in comics, you know, like rape or someone's head getting cut off or the world ending. The stakes are there's going to be an 8th day of the week, so this guy can go around doing his funny business and trying to take over the world, maniacal laughing kind of stuff, rather than really grim, really graphic, really doom and gloom stuff. This is a super fun issue. Cameron Stewart, again, actually, I don't know again. Did I do a back row review? I am going to praise Cameron Stewart to high heavens. He is a wonderful cartoonist. He is a wonderful comic book artist, but on top of all that, he is a wonderful cartoonist. He is a wonderful illustrator of cartoons. His artwork is so perfect for sequential art media and sequential art storytelling, whatever that may be. He has really fun, clean, bold characters, pretty detailed and fun backgrounds, emotions displayed perfectly, even though the emotions are a little on the cornball side because they are so heightened. Super maniacal bad guy. Oh, gee whiz, I gotta turn Shazam! That kind of cheesy stuff happening a lot. But even then, you know, it's bolder emotions that are captured perfectly from Cameron Stewart and matches this fun Golden Age tone that Grant Morrison has created once again in Thunderworld. Another great addition to Multiversity, and very different from all the other ones. One of them did have a Golden Agey feel with the old JSA members. I hope I'm saying that right, the old JSA members. But that was more of like a pulpy, like noir-y kind of feel. Pax Americana very much had, is it called the Bronze Age or the Dark Age? That like mid-80s kind of feel, the Alan Moore kind of influence of comic books kind of feel. And, you know, now with Thunderworld, we get that fun Golden Age, heightened emotion, kind of cheesy, but timeless and always captivating, and a great reminder of why this character has lasted as long as he has. Grant Morrison, I'll do it like this. This is what my wife does. Round of applause, because I'm making a circle. If I had a hat, I'd tip it off to you, sir. Once again, Grant Morrison, knock it out of the park. Cameron Stewart, you've had a great year, man. Your redesigns of Batgirl have shocked the entire comic book community. Whether people like it or hate it, it has not gone ignored. I personally love it. You're doing some really bold things inside of comic books. And I think you're one of the faces of change in a positive light in comic books. And I hope you bring that forth in the future. I'm talking to Cameron Stewart now in my videos because I am slowly but surely losing my mind. Maybe my tie's on too tight. Anyway, the 5th chapter of Multiversity from DC Comics, entitled Thunderworld by Grant Morrison and artist Cameron Stewart, gets 4 sombreros. Before I get to stepping today, I wanted to introduce the world to my loving cat, Molly Mittens. She is really the cutest. I wanted to get some snuggle time in before I had to bounce, and I wanted to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. I personally don't like Christmas that much, but I know it means a lot to a lot of people. I will be seeing the New York Knicks this Christmas and eating a Cat's Deli sandwich, which is a wonderful thing to do if you want to avoid your family and your wife is down with it. I also want to let you know, if you're interested in checking out comic books like the great Grant Morrison written Thunderworld from DC Comics, find a local comic shop near you. Go to comicshoplocator.com, type in your zip code, and you can find a comic shop, no problem. If it is a problem, you can always download your comics digitally. I use the Comixology app. It's available for both Apple and Android products. Not too tough to find. Check out your local library. Guarantee they have some Captain Marvel stuff. It might be close to Shazam. There is a little bit of legal stuff. But check out your library for some comic books. Knowledge is power, motherfuckers. Always remember that. Have a very Merry Christmas. And if you're a little scared, remember, there's nothing to fear but the mustache itself. Adios, brochachos. Happy holidays. Say goodbye, Molly. Bye.